Alright guys, I want to welcome you back to another video. Today is Wednesday, April 24th. This is a special day. This is my birthday. So I brought the GT500 with me to work for my birthday. I want to enjoy the car. More importantly, what is the best way to enjoy your birthday other than having a GT500? Turning up the boost and getting it retuned. So actually I brought the car today. We were having Lund Racing retune the car. Prior the car was tuned on HP tuners from Black Dog Racing. Car was very neutered. So we're going to turn up the wick a little bit. We went from a 3.0 pulley to a 2.5. So the boost is going to be considerably different. Went from like 11, 12 pounds, should be maybe 16, 17 pounds. So right now, again, I mentioned I know Brandon Diaretta. He works for Lund. I placed in my Lund ticket on Monday night, and Tuesday morning they got back to me. If you've never dealt with Lund Racing before, they ask you a slew of questions. What's done to the car, what kind of fuel you're going to run, yada yada yada. So I answered everything right away. They gave me the file to update my N gauge, to unlock it for this vehicle, I guess. And then pretty much minutes after that, Brandon sent me my base tune with instructions to go ahead and let the car warm up on the base tune, go through RPM increments to hold it for whatever, 30 seconds or something, and then go out for a short drive and log for 5 minutes, something to that effect. I didn't look through the whole email yet. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and pull down the file for updating the N gauge. I'm going to pull down the base map, and then I'm going to try and show you guys as much as I can on camera. Maybe a little bit tough doing this in the car. And we'll have people making fun of me at work out in the parking lot for talking to my camera and doing whatever I'm doing with a laptop. So be prepared to have somebody come up and ridicule me, asking me what the fuck I'm doing. But we're going to go ahead and get through this. Due to some technical complications earlier on my work laptop, we disable USB drive access, and I didn't want to encrypt, obviously, my N gauge. So I ditched my laptop, went over to a tablet that I snagged from work, forgot that I didn't load a lot of drivers, so that thing was all kinds of fucked up. I eventually got it working, but I was cut short due to time for lunch, and I was able to do the initial stuff from the base tune, going from 1500, 2500, 3500, I believe it was, and doing a little bit of driving around, pulling up to 5,000 gradually and letting off of it. Brandon said the base tune was looking good, everything looked good. We were less than 5% off on fuel trims or whatever. So he told me to take a crack at doing a 2500 to 5000 pull in third, full boost, to see what it was like. I'm not going to lie, I was a little underwhelmed with the results, but I sent him the logs. He gave me an R1 to load, which we're going to go ahead and load that now. I asked if it was a very conservative tune, because I was assuming we were going to start conservative. He said, it's making power. So my response was just like, I wanted the gauge so I know how many steps we got until it's making more power. To me, it felt like it was making less power, but again, I guess it's kind of hard to realize when you're doing just a third gear pull from 25 to 5. Plus with getting traction, it felt underwhelming. It doesn't feel like, for all intents and purposes, this should be, my guess is getting pretty close to 700 wheel, I would think, or I thought it was going to be. It doesn't feel like that now. So we're going to go ahead and get this R1 logged, or in the car and logged. I'm going to see if I can throw the GoPro in the car tonight. We're going to do it when the highways calm down a little bit. It's not rush hour traffic. So I thought that stepping down to a 2.5, which actually measures a little bit smaller than 2.5. So that 2.5 measures 2.46 or 2.47, some shit like that. I don't recall offhand, but it was high 2.4s, under 2.5. So if I was making 11, 12 pounds of boost on the 3.0 upper, I was hoping, well, you know what, I guess it is pretty much making on point what it should. I was guessing between 16 and 17 pounds of boost Looks like from the logs it's hitting like 16.2. It peaked at one point at 16.5. It doesn't look like I'm getting any belt slip, so that's good. Timing is not aggressive. And maybe it's not super aggressive, but it's not aggressive either. I think it's got probably 2 degrees more in it than what I had. So I don't know. I mean, we're gonna see what it does. We'll see if we can get some sauce in it and go from there. But you will see we have the R1, and if you can see this here, we got our bass tune, we got our R1 tune. I'm going to go ahead and get this plugged in and show you guys the process. So we got USB in the front of the N gauge. We're going to get USB in the side of the tablet. And we are going to go ahead and go on accessory on the car to get the gauge to light up. And if you guys are familiar with this process, basically you're just setting it in SD mode. Yep, keys on. This usually takes a few seconds to boot up. Alright, so I'm going to go to exit gauges, go down to diagnostics, USB SD. It's active. You hear a ding on my end. And then we are going to go into the custom files. Alright, so I'm going to delete, well, we'll keep that one on. Alright. I don't know why I'm doing this with the touchscreen, but I am, so deal with it. Alright. Alright, you can see it's throwing it in the custom files, and then we have 2 files there. Open that up, you got the R1, and then you got the regular. So, go ahead and take this out of USB mode. We're going to go into tuning. We're going to go to load tune. And we are going to go arrow over to R1. Flash this tune, yes. And it's going to tell you to take 2 minutes, small file, so it shouldn't take very long. It's probably going to tell you to not shut off the car. Oh, it does tell you to turn it off. Okay, so off, back on, initializing communications. Then it tells you to not unplug, and while it erases the prior tune and flashes on the new tune. When you do that, you'll get weird errors up on your dash as it's doing things. That is normal, as I understand. And then once this is done flashing, it is going to tell you to turn off the car for 10 seconds. And you're going to see it's going through all these checks, all the 4 diagnostic checks. And we are almost done. Alright, resetting ECM. Boom, successfully installed. Turn the key off for 10 seconds. And then restart the vehicle. So we'll do OK. And we'll wait 10 seconds. Alright, it's probably been about 10 seconds. Let's restart the car. start the idle down. And I think it idles about, I don't know, 750 or so. Alright. So go back to the gauges. And again, the car may be a little bit warm. I am finding out now, today is the first day that I've actually driven it in some heat. And the IAT1, which is basically what the air filter or at the MAF is sensing, I believe, and the IAT2 is after it gets cooled by the heat exchanger in the bottom of the supercharger, I guess. So IAT1 was actually 10 degrees higher than IAT2 when I was sitting in traffic. As I started driving, those started evening out, and then, you know, it goes typical to this. So right now, because it's a little bit warm, of course not moving, IAT's a little high. For what I saw, IATs were, you know, 108 to 111 under boost. That was good. When you go to do the data logging, I don't think you can start data logging from here. Go to exit gauges, diagnostics, data logging, and then you select which inputs, which we already have the GT500 inputs. We're going to do normal. And then you'll see it'll do the connecting, and it's going to show you some of the available PIDs. So you'll see it's idling around 750. ECT is 168, spark, yada yada yada. So you get an idea here. Of some of the parameters. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get this out tonight. Tonight's my birthday, so my wife's taking me out for dinner. And after dinner, if I can get away for a little bit after, give the wife a little bit of sexy time, I'm going to go out and do a couple pulls. We'll get some more data, and we'll see if the car's making some power. Maybe my butt dyno was off, but to me it feels slower. But Brandon's tuning 1,000+ horsepower cars every day. God knows what he's doing, so I'm going to trust his opinion. And if it don't feel like more to me, I'm going to let him drive it since he is close, and we're going to go from there. If it still ain't making enough power, then I'm doing a fucking lower. We're going 10%, and we're going to bump the boost up a little bit more and just see what we can do. So we'll be back in a little bit. Alright, so we're getting ready to go out and make a couple more pulls. Brandon sent me the R1 revision. We're going to take a little bit of air out of the tires. I aired them up the other night to go for a cruise. Yeah, we get to try my new Jayco tool. Alright, so we're at 30.5. Go down a little bit, maybe 26, 28. Alright, we'll try 28. Hey, how's it going, man? Sorry about the interruption. One of my neighbors came over. He hasn't seen the car yet. So we got the tires aired down to 28 pounds. I think that will be enough. I'm probably only going to do a third gear pull through the RPM range to see how it's going to do. Again, Brandon thought there was some tire slip earlier, but I don't think it was tire slip. It was some imperfections in the road because it was bobbling around a little bit. So I'm not going to hit that highway. I'm going to hit a different highway now, and hopefully it works out a little bit better. IATs are looking great so far, nice and cool. I want to say it went down to 55 degrees or so. So hopefully it should make a nice healthy pass. I'll shut this off for now. We'll turn her back on once we get near the spot. We decided on a spot to do a pull quick here. We're going to go on the loop around and get off the highway, jump back on the highway at the next exit. And I think it is, off the top of my head, straight enough to at least be able to get to the top of third. And hopefully do that without too many bumps on the road. Coming down this way, there is quite a few bumps on the road. I think in this first small stretch, it is good at least for, you know, a mile and a half or so. So I might be able to get some decent data. Let's get data logger started a while. Alright, so we got it on the data logging screen. Once I start pulling off of this on-ramp, we'll make sure it is clear. And then I'll boogie. Alright, so we're logging. Hopefully traffic stays clear. So that was skating around a little bit. Alright, so short shifted that one a little bit, around $6,000 or so. Stop the data logger. That was spinning the tires pretty good. I didn't take enough pressure out, but we'll send that to Brandon and see if we got enough data out of it. Alright, that feels a little bit faster than what it was earlier. So I don't know what exactly he changed on it. The timing, like I said, was a little more on the aggressive side, and the fuel was a little more on the aggressive side on the last tune. So I'm curious to see what he changed on this one. Again, that just was not an ideal road at all. I was bouncing around a lot. The other roads that we do pulls on when we do races are a lot more straight, a lot less divots in the road. I probably could have took out another couple pounds of pressure, but I don't think that road is good enough to be able to do hardcore pulls like this. So we'll go ahead and stop this. We'll go ahead and pull the logs. I'll show you a little bit of the data from the logs, and we'll send it back to Brandon and see how he feels, and we will go from there. We are now on day 2. Last night I sent that last log file to Brandon. Brandon checked it out this morning, said things are looking good. However, again, we had a little bit of tire slip because of the road. I think it's mostly because of the road. He said everything's looking good. Just sent me a revision 2 and said send me one more log, full boost, and we should pretty much be tapped out on pump gas. If all looks good from that last log, then the next thing we're going to be doing is race gas tune. Also, he sent me a tune for emissions to turn all my sensors back on that have been turned off in the prior tune. So I did take a look at the logs last night after I sent them to him. The log prior, or the base tune, I want to say the car had like 18 degrees of timing, and the car was low 12s to like, yeah, 12.0, 12.2 AFR. Car was feeling a little slow, so I said something to him again. I probably touched on that already. So I gave it a little bit more sauce. The logs from last night on revision 1, timing was about 19, maybe 19.5 degrees, and air fuel was chopped down to like 11.0s, 11.2s. So just a little splash more timing, and took out about a point of fuel, and it's starting to feel a little bit more impressive. I don't know what he did yet to revision 2 until we data log, but we'll try and get that in the next couple days. It just started raining here. Tomorrow's Friday. Maple Grove was supposed to be a Fast Fridays event. Not going to be able to make it, number one, because my son's promised tomorrow, so I got to be here for taking pictures, adult shit. Number two, I think it's probably going to rain tomorrow, and possibly all weekend. So I don't know. If it doesn't rain this weekend, I'm going to take the car out. We're going to try and do some roll racing with it if Brandon gives the okay. If not, I'm just going to save the logging for next week. I would like to get it out Saturday or Sunday to try and get some pulls on a cleaner stretch of highway, where I don't have tire slip. I can maybe heat up the tires a little bit more before we go out and see how it goes. But right now the car's feeling pretty good. If he's saying we're pretty much tapped out on pump gas and he doesn't want to see any more boost on pump gas, then I gotta assume it's probably making some pretty solid power. I guess the other option is taking out timing and adding more boost, but I don't know. Who wants to do that? Why generate more heat if you gotta take timing out of it and aren't gonna make any more power? So I'm guessing that's what the logic is. But me and Ethan, he's been getting aviation fuel. He's been getting 15 gallons at a shot with 3 5-gallon jugs. So I made him a deal. He doesn't have a truck anymore, so I said, hey, I'll take you out in the F-150 with some 55-gallon drums, get 55 gallons at a shot, and then just give me like 5 gallons to get me started on, you know, for taking you out there. And then I'll just buy a couple gallons from him here and there until I get a 55-gallon drum, and then we'll just use, I guess it's just 100 octane shit. So we either do that or do some octanium or butane or something like that. But I'm not sure on that yet. Car is going to primarily be on pump gas, and then do some kind of alternative fuel, you know, when needed, when I want to really go out and party. So we're going to go ahead and load up revision 2 and get rocking and rolling soon. Alright guys, so you know the process. We got the tablet plugged in, we got our tune files here. Go ahead and get the N gauge started up. And we'll expand this. Take it out of USB mode. Go to tuning, load tune, and blah 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 R2, and then boom, emissions only. And I made that emissions only so I remember which tune it is. I believe it should be pretty much the same exact tune. The only difference is turning the O2 sensors back on, turning the EVAP back on. I think that's off, and I think there might have been a couple other sensors that were not ready. This whole thing, this will take about a minute to run through, and by the time I come back we will get ready to do the last data log. Hopefully it'll be in the daytime where we can see a little bit, and hopefully on a better road. If not, we'll do it again at night, but either way I gotta find a better road so we don't get any wheel slip. So we'll catch you guys back in a little bit. Alright, I just want to come back and do a follow-up video. This is almost 2 weeks after the fact now. It's May, I don't know, May 7th. Basically, we took the car out that night when I said we were going to do some more data logging. There was a little bit of racing going on. Had Brandon check out the final data log that I did. I had to run my gas down low to put some 100 octane in, so I did a couple pulls on the way there. Gave Brandon my final 93 octane log. He said everything looked perfect. Boom, let's throw in some 100 octane. Threw in some 100 octane. And went out and did some runs against some cars. I actually data logged my race gas tune against a race with him. If you guys have looked at the racing videos from that night, they were actually posted last week before this is getting posted. So if you see one run against a blue S197, that actually is Brandon's car. He took it out to do some testing that night and found out that his tires were not working out very good for him. He said, fuck it, I'm not running it anymore. Basically almost went into my door. So if you happen to see the footage from that, you're going to see his headlights go in like this and go out like that. He lit off it and said, I'm done for the night. Car's not hooking.
But basically, he said logs look good for the 100 octane. I think he said one small spot on tip-in, he didn't like the fuel, so he adjusted it. So basically, we were on 2 revisions of pump gas and done, and then 1 revision on race gas and done. Um, through the logs, and again, you're going to see other videos on this. Now we are fighting a little bit of belt slip. It's not a ton of belt slip, but it's a little bit of belt slip. I saw on the tip-in from second gear, it was hitting 16 and a half pounds. Then would kind of ramp down to low 15s, high 14s, and then go back up to 15s, the top of second gear. Hit third gear, it would start off a little bit lower, maybe like mid 15s, and a ramp up to about 16. And then by the time I hit fourth gear, it was pretty much plateaued, dead even, 16 and a half, almost 17 pounds of boost. So it was a little bit of belt slip, not a ton. So I went full bore, I ripped that fucking Gates belt off. It was just standard Gates belt, from Ford type deal. It was a newer one. It was only put on within 1,000 miles ago or so. I don't know. I don't think it was doing what I needed to do. So I took that off and I got a Gates racing belt from Van at Revan Racing. Got all that apart, and again, you're going to see my trials and tribulations from the video. That turned into a fucked up tensioner, and then I ended up going full balls to the wall with an American Racing Solutions tensioner. $600+ later, the car's back together and running again. Have not had a chance to take it out yet to test and see if the belt slip is resolved, but again, hopefully after $600, it was not for naught. So I'm gonna do a little bit of data logging. I'll let you guys know in follow-up videos. Did the American Racing tensioner do its job? Did that expensive Gates racing belt do its job, or was it for naught and wasted money? I'm hoping that's not the case, but sometimes that shit kind of happens. But I want to give a shout out to Brandon Diaretta from Lund Racing. You did an awesome job with the car. I'm still trying to figure out the car and find the right launch RPM and stuff for doing roll racing, but the car is feeling pretty damn strong. If I can keep all the boost in it, it should be pretty decent. All the cars I was racing except for one, that ZL1 is about 660, 680 wheel. The car is fucking fast for 660, 680 wheel. No lift shifts, mag ride. Guy knows the car, just really good. The car's a fast fucking car for that horsepower. So I do have a little bit of trouble with him. I beat him a couple times. He beat me a couple times. All the other cars I was racing, honestly, were like 800 wheel plus cars. That Z06 Vet that I raced, that was 1300 plus. So it's not like I'm racing slow cars. So when you guys are messaging me saying, oh man, what happened? You got really fucked up that night by all those cars. Remember, these cars are 800 plus cars. These are guys that come out on drag packs with skinnies. These guys racing these cars for a while. They know their cars. Their cars are proven. They run the times. My car's fast. It's not proven. I haven't run any times yet. That was literally the second time I got it out and played with it. First time on a new tune. So bear with me, guys. If you think my car is slow, so be it. It's not slow by any means. You just got to remember, I'm not going out with slow cars. My car is the slowest car out of all these cars I'm going out with. I digress. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Again, Brandon, you did a great job. Lund Tuning, you guys did a great job. Car seems to be running great. We're going to see how it goes a little bit in the summer once we can get some track times on it. We'll follow up. Again, like always, guys, if you have any questions about the car, any input, any experience from things that you found with your car that may help me out in some of my things, please let me know. Otherwise, I really appreciate you guys watching the videos. I hope you're enjoying the GT500 content. They're not kind of kicking off as good as the SN95 stuff. So please, GT500 guys, reach out to me. If there's content that you want to see, let me know. If there's something you like, don't like, I appreciate the feedback. Don't be a dick about it. Again, this isn't my full-time gig. I'm not a high-end YouTuber. I just kind of do this to get you guys some data, something somewhat entertaining to watch, I hope, and provide some kind of value to show you guys you can work on your cars, some things that I learned while I'm working on the cars, and again, hopefully provide some value. But again, thank you guys very much for watching the videos. I really appreciate the feedback and the views. We're so close to 1,000 viewers, and that may not sound like a lot, but to me, I'm just a regular schmo with regular schmo shit. I don't got nothing special. I'm just a guy who records stuff every once in a while. So I'm almost at that 1,000 subscriber mark. I think we're at like 970. Please remember to keep liking, share the channel with your friends. You know, if they have similar interests or similar cars, I really appreciate getting the channel out there, guys. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be doing it. But you know, some people are liking it, so I'm going to keep on doing it as long as you guys like it. So again, thank you. Have a great day, guys. We'll catch you on the next one, and then next video that's going to get posted is probably going to be the belt install and the tensioner install, and show you some of the bullshit I went through to get this done. Again, not easy to do in GT500s, but learned some things along the way, and I know how to do it a little bit easier for the next time. That's what it's all about. So we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you again for the support, and give me a thumbs up. Have a nice day, guys.